Hey, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball. We're working on target pull. I think this might be just part 10 or 11. I can't remember. We've done a ton of videos on this so far. Still making some good progress. Got all the sockets and everything taken care of in the last episode, except for this one thing here that I started working on and absolutely looking like just trash. It's looking awful. So this is on the other side of the playfield. This tells you how many, what balls in play is just an indicator. And every one of these little sockets are really loose on this whole strip. So making contact to the base of it is not real good. I could flip it over and do my little trick with putting some solder on it, but I've been trying to put some solder here to tie in the pin to the, where the wire comes in, and this just looks terrible. Everything I've done on this is just, the solder's not taking really well. I've been trying to clean it good, and and I got to thinking, it's like, why am I doing this? Let's just get rid of this whole thing. And I've got several of these that I'm going to try putting those in place, and I think this should work fine, because if you look to see, about how far the bulb is coming through, where the socket's coming through, it does come through the hole just a little bit. This won't be quite as deep, or I'm sorry, the bulbs will actually be sitting in deeper into the playfield, but because of, let's see if I can see this. This is where all the lamps will be, coming through. That, that shouldn't be a problem, just having it just a little bit further down. So I think a much cleaner solution would be to just take this completely out of the picture and put in individual sockets. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, we got it all done, and I like this a lot better. This has turned out much better than the way it was with that old little light bracket or whatever. I did end up also replacing this one socket here. I think this is to help illuminate one of the coin slots. So had to tie that back into this this one wire that goes across here. Just kind of replicate the way it was. So anyways, we've got this side done now, I think. Let's tighten that down. And let's loosen our rotisserie. Time to flip it back over and get busy on the top side. I think it's now time we can start putting posts back on, putting bulbs in place, get rubbers on, put plastics on, and try to get this side really ready to go back in the cabinet. And that's about as far as I'm gonna get right now. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are so close to having this playfield back in the cabinet. So you may be wondering, hey, what's with the orbit back here? You know, I polished out what I could, you know, that's not great. But definitely cleaned up the metal that was back there. But the piece on the top, it had some issues. This right-hand side, there was some rust, surface rust, that somebody had painted over it. It looked like they just kind of brush painted over it, and it was not a real good looking white color. So I hated to do it because, you know, it's original, but I did sand down that area down to the metal, got the rust out. I didn't show that, it didn't get it captured in the film, but in the recording and everything, but the paint is drying right now, so I'm going to be throwing that back on. And then basically here we have it. We've got this all populated. It's really looking nice. For these original plastics that do have some fading and yellowing, I did clean them up a bit. I did get a source. One of my awesome viewers gave me a contact for somebody that I could reach out to and get these actually remade. But given the cost that we've had so far with this game, just with parts and other stuff, and where I think the customer's limitations is on this, I think we're just going to stick with these originals because they're really not that awful. And honestly, this game's really looking pretty nice. So I think we're just gonna get it all back together. The apron, I've got it over here. It's another thing that's, you know, it's kind of got a little bit of this rust stuff here, but we're not gonna repaint this. We're leaving this alone. It looks pretty good, actually. I've just kind of wiped it down. I am going to make some new instruction cards to put in here and get it mounted over into the cabinet. So one thing I also did off camera, but I did pull this metal off here and I put it on the buffer. Got it cleaned up, and then I polished it out with some others. So again, just kind of taking the main amount of grime off. I do want to pull these rails off and get the tape residue and whatever's on there. Going to scrub them down, kind of like what I do with the Scotch-Brite. I'm not going to polish them mirror polish, but going to get them scrubbed down and basically just kind of have that new brushed look on it. Throw those back on and get the playfield back in and see what happens from there. I still have some more work to do in the back box. Actually, I say more work. I really haven't done much work at all in the back box, so we'll have to see what's going on there. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we are making good progress. We'll have this thing done in no time. We'll see you next time.